Hi friends! Welcome to your weekly math video. Today is all about multiplication. SOL 4.4b says the student will add, subtract, and multiply whole numbers. So what is multiplication? Well, it's repeated addition. So instead of saying 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, you can easily say 7 times 8. It makes it so much easier. So how do you learn these multiplication facts? What's the trick? Guess what? You have to memorize them. And I know for a lot of you that's like, no! But guess what? It's hard work. You have to be diligent and persistent and work at this. This does not come easy. Multiplication and division are the two biggest hurdles for 4th grade because it takes such consistent, diligent practice, but you will get there. And don't worry, because I am sending you in your email a bunch of tips and tricks for memorizing your facts. So I've just gathered some strategies over the years of what helped other 4th graders. So I'm sending that to you. So you can be looking for that in your email. Now, if you memorized 6 times 8 equals 48, if you just took one fact, do you know that's really knowing 4 facts? The key is understanding fact families. So if you took these digits, 48, 6, and 8, and if you knew that was a fact family, then you automatically can know 4 facts. So if you know 6 times 8 equals 48, then because of the commutative property of multiplication, you know that 8 times 6 is also 48. You can just switch these two numbers around. And then because of the reciprocal nature of multiplication and division, now you can go backwards and say 48 divided by 6 equals 8. And you can also say 48 divided by 8 equals 6. Once you understand this reciprocal relationship between multiplication and division, it makes division not seem so scary. So be looking for those strategies for how to memorize your math facts, and hopefully you can get started on that if you haven't already. But we're going to kick it up a notch and start talking about multi-digit multiplication. So we're going to start with 2-digit times 1-digit. And first I'm going to show you 3 different ways that you can solve this type of problem. So the first one is just your traditional algorithm. Let's take 46 times 7. And you can see very quickly, once you start getting into multi-digit multiplication, how much better this is going to be if you know your math facts already. If you don't know your math facts, I would practice with a chart, a multiplication chart, by your side as you're practicing this multi-digit multiplication. So you can learn the process of it, and eventually you'll memorize all of your facts. So the first thing I'm going to do is say 6 times 7 is 42. I'm going to carry the 4. Now I'm going to say 7 times 4 is 28. Plus 4 is 32. Okay, so our answer is 322. Now let me show you a different method. Next, I'm going to show you another method called partial product. So I'm going to take those same numbers, 46 times 7, and we're going to look at the numbers a little differently based on their place value. So the first part is the same. 7 times 6 is 42. But this time I'm going to write the whole number. Now I'm going to look at 7 times 4, but I'm going to remember that 4 is really in the tens, at the tens place. So that's really a 40. So 7 times 40 is 280. And now I'm going to add those. 2. 8 plus 4 is 12. And I got the same exact answer, 322. The last method I want to show you is called the lattice method. So first you need to build some boxes, and it's pretty simple. You just make a box, and a diagonal line, and a diagonal line. And the reason we have two boxes is because I have two digits here and only one digit over here. So that's all the boxes that you need. So let's start. You could say 7 times 6 is 42. You put the 4 over here as the tens place and the 2 over here as the ones place. Now I'm going to say 7 times 4 is 28. You put the 2 over here for the tens place and the 8 over here for the ones place. And then what I'm going to do is add up these sections. So I'm going to start all the way to the right, and that's just 2. Then I have 8 plus 4 would be 12. I'm going to carry the 1 to this section, and then I'm going to add that section. 2 plus 1 is 3. And again, we get the same exact answer, 322. So now let's look at what it would be like to multiply 2 digits times 2 digits. So we're going to start with our traditional method. And this time I'm going to multiply 74 times 68. And again, if you don't have your math facts memorized, while you're learning this strategy and the process of this algorithm, it's a really good idea to have a multiplication chart beside you so you don't really get hung up on the facts as you're learning the steps. Eventually, you'll have the facts memorized. So first I'm going to go 8 times 4 is 32. Carry the 3. Now I'm going to go this way. 8 times 7 is 56, plus 3 is 59. Okay, so I'm done with the 8. Now I'm going to move over to the tens column and multiply the 6. But first I need to put a 0 in the ones column because we're finished with that. Now we're doing the tens column. So I'm going to say 6 times 4 is 24. Carry the 2. 6 times 7 plus 2 is 44. Okay, and now I'm going to add these two rows of numbers together. 9 plus 4 is 13. Carry the 1. 1 plus 5 plus 4 is 10. And finally, my answer is 5,032. Let's look at it by using the partial product. So same numbers, 74 times 68. Okay, remember we're going to really think about what place value those digits are in. So first I'm going to say 8 times 4 is 32, but I'm going to write the whole thing down. Then I'm going to say 8 times 7, but I can't say 7 because the 7 is really in the tens place, so that's really a 70. So 8 times 70 is 560. Next, we're going to go over to the 6, which really isn't a 6, it's a 60. So I'm going to say 60 times 4 would be 240. And then I'm going to say 60 times 70, which would be a really big number of 4,200. And then again, for this method, we're going to add all of these numbers. 2 plus 3 zeros is 2. 3 plus 6 plus 4 is 13. 1 plus 5 plus 2 plus 2 is 10. 1 plus 4 would be 5. So again, we get the same exact answer of 5,032. And finally, let's look at the lattice method again. This time, since we're doing 2 digits times 2 digits, we're going to need 2 rows of boxes. So we're going to start building our boxes. This time, we're going to add a whole nother layer. Same thing, you put diagonal lines. Now I'm going to put the numbers. 74 times 68. Okay, so one by one, we're going to say 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 7 is 42. Now we're going to go down here to the 8. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 7 is 56. And now all we have to do is add these diagonal rows. So I'm going to start all the way to the right. This is just a 2. 4 plus 3 plus 6 is 13. I'm going to carry my 1. 2 plus 2 plus 5 plus 1 is 10. Carry my 1. And that would be 5. So again, we get the same exact answer, 5,032. Now, do you have to choose one of these, or are you required to know all 3? Why am I showing you 3 different ways? It's because some of these ways will really resonate with some of you, while a different method might be better for you. So I like to show several different methods, and you can choose which one you like the best. What's the most important thing is that you find one where you're getting consistent, accurate answers. If you like the traditional method, stick with that. If you like this lattice method, which I'm kind of liking that method, then stick with that. Whatever gives you the most accurate responses is what I want you to stick with. So I want you to do me a favor and remember this quote. It says, "I can achieve anything with effort and right strategies. And when I fail or make a mistake, it is a great thing because I can learn from my mistakes and I can get better." Okay? So let's put in a lot of effort and learn some new strategies for how to memorize our math facts and be a 4th grade class that rocks that SOL in the spring. All right, thanks everybody. Have a great week.